Hey guys, it's Mistaken Reality here with the 42nd episode of the multiplayer RPG tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to be looking into setting up our weather system, and we'll also look into setting up weather accumulating on the ground and on other materials so that, I'm just going to show you in my test project here. We'll have the sky all set up, day and night cycle will be working. And over time, I have it set up really fast right now, so the snow will accumulate really fast, just for the video, but you can adjust. I'll show you how to adjust everything properly. You can see that snow is starting to accumulate on the ground. Ground colors changing in the distance mainly. The puddles will change color. And I don't have it set up on every grass mesh because there's a lot of them, a lot of materials to go through, but you'll notice that the grass and bushes that I do have set up will have snow accumulate on them. And we'll also look into the heat of the puddle, the water freezing. You can notice that still freezing slowly as winter goes on and everything's getting more snowy. And we'll also learn to I'll show you how to put the snow on basically any other object material that you want. So without further ado, we will get into setting up this. So first thing we want to do is go to the Unreal Engine website. You're going to want to download this free weather system plugin. You can just write in weather system free and this will pop up. Once you download that, you want to install it to the version of the launcher that you have. You can pause the video and download this and install it to your version. I'm using 4.26 personally, so I install it to 4.26. Once you do that, we'll continue on. So now that you have this downloaded and installed to your engine, which you just open launcher. I guess you didn't need to do that. You can just open launcher, install to engine. I already have it installed, but you just select your engine version and install it. So now you have this, you'll have this plugin set up. I'm just going to grab my test project and bring it over out of the way. So now this is what we had last time set up. Tested out setting up the landscape and stuff. Now we're going to set up our plugin. So you want to go to plugins, search for weather system. By the way, if you install the plugin and it's not showing up here, restart your project because you might have had that opened up. You need to restart your project once you install the plugin. You want to enable that and click restart now. And once your project restarts, it might take a little bit. So I close out this plugin screen and now we have access to our plugin. So to view that, you want to show engine content and make sure show plugin content is also ticked. You'll scroll all the way down to your weather system. You want to go to weather system content and grab this CPP weather and just drag it into the scene. You want to get rid of all of these. Your sky sphere. Basically all of this stuff to do with. Don't want that either. Okay, so now we have the weather material in, you can click your sky and you'll get this pop up. We're going to scroll down through here quickly and open up core. And this is where some of your settings are that I'm going to be using. For my snow, I'm going to tick on always snow. And if you click play, it'll begin snowing. And you'll notice that it's very subtle, but you can change the amount adjust the max amount of snow here to your liking. I set mine to 250,000. That gives it a nice blizzardy look when it fills out fully. I'll also use some fog in the system as well. You notice the snow collects on the ground and bounces around a little bit before disappearing. It's a pretty nice feature of the system. So I have a decent amount of snow falling here. I'm just gonna go into fog density, snow or rain. I'm gonna set this to 0.25. And set that. And now when we play, you'll notice that it'll get foggy when it starts snowing, which will help make it look a little better in the distance. So we got some fog going on. I'm just gonna plop go into modes, landscape, sculpt. I'm gonna hold shift, and that'll allow me to indent the ground. Just gonna make a little indent like that. Content browser, and in my weather system content, you have your CPV water for testing. I'm just going to bring this into the world. Turn back to my select mode so I can select the water plane. Oop. There we go. I'm just going to slightly bigger just so it fits. And you'll notice that when the snow starts falling, this puddles start freezing from the edges in. There we go. See it freezing there. And you notice right now you can walk through it, but as the puddle freezes more, you can't walk. It'll freeze over and you won't be able to walk through it, basically. And you can adjust your frozen timer. If you go into here, this will determine how long it takes for your thing to freeze. I have it set to 450, but by default it's probably a lot lower. So I think it might have been set originally to 30. Just 30 seconds, because each one counts for a second. So if I set back to 30, you'll notice you'll see it freezing a lot faster. And yeah, and now I'm walking on top of it like it's a sheet of ice. If ice doesn't freeze that fast, I like to set it to, I think, 450, which is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I think that would be. Also, you can adjust your time of day here. Mine set, it should be yours, will probably be 60 by default, which is 60 seconds. I set mine to 600, which is 10 minutes. And my nighttime I've set also to 600. You can adjust those to your own liking. This will adjust how long the time is before it gets to like the maximum snow falling. So 300 would be 5 minutes for snow falling. Now this one's set to 300 as well. And 300 for the rain falling. You can adjust those as much as you want. Like it wet, set to 300. It's 5 minutes. This one's your day and time, so that'll be a 10-minute day and night cycle. So now that we have our weather system in place, everything is default adjusted. I'm just going to snow blend time because I have this always snow ticked, so we'll always snow. The snow blend time will determine how fast the snow will appear on the ground. So right now 7, it'll take like maybe a minute with the default snow all set up from what I remember. I'm just going to set it to a really high value so the snow appears fast for the video, but you can adjust that yourself. So the first thing we're going to do is go into our landscape material because we want our snow to appear on our accumulate on our landscape. And to do that, we will we're at the V2 one, and I think we have the open world demo, which is you open that up, scroll down, you'll notice the master, the parent is the no tessellation. So if you open up this, we're going to want to look for normally you would have your material for base, color, specular, and roughness all right here at the end, but this material is set up a little differently. You have material functions. So in this material function for the landscape layer, which is where all the colors are being set for everything, this material function gets used for every layer to set the colors and masks and all that good stuff. So you want to, in this material function, we're going to want to use our weather system for our material function weather blend. So we're going to click this. You'll notice that I'm not sure why, but I can't right click and get that to show up. So you can drag down like this and just drag your material function out of your weather system content over into your material function landscape layer, and then put that back up there. I want to control C this because we're going to use it multiple times. And you can hold control and it'll allow you to grab these pins and move them like so into there. I just want to move them in place for the specular. And save and apply that, and that will allow you to have snow and rain accumulation on your surfaces. And all your shaders will compile for that specific material. I'm going to pause while that compiles, and I'm going to show you the material accumulating on snow accumulating. Alright, now that our shaders are compiled, I click play, and I have mine turned up really high, so it should start displaying on the ground fairly quick. You can kind of see the ground already changing color there. Forgot that I turned up my snowfall timeline, so it might actually take a second. There we go, you can start to see it accumulating on the surfaces now. Our pond is freezing over time. Our little puddle, I guess. And everything is freezing over. You'll notice the grass materials are not freezing, don't have them, so you need to set them on every specific material mesh. every mesh is material specifically, so I'm just going to do a few of them to show you how you would do that. Basically, you want to look for where it's setting the roughness, specular, and base color. So for in this instance, it's setting it in the landscape layer material function. But for most things, it doesn't do that. It's more basic. So you want to go into your foliage, and I'm just going to go to my grass. And you don't want to go to your material instances. You want to find your main material. And if you have a problem finding that, you can open up your material instance and scroll down and search your material until you get to your main one. And in here, and this is just more of a basic setup. You want to go in here and select this and Control C and copy it if you didn't already. Control V and paste it in here. And Control and drag this out. This one and this one. It's gonna do maybe a bush as well. Open up your material. Control V. It's your base color. Control click and drag. Control drag. And this is an example. If you don't have any roughness, just hold one and click to get a scalar or a constant variable parameter, and you can just plug that in like this. You can leave the default value to 0. Color, specular, and roughness. And you can do the same thing for specular if you don't have one. Seems like this one's already defaulted at 0. Save this. Grass seems to be having the blend once in there. Mine it's not doing that. Oh yeah, it's because I plugged the specular into the wrong place. Make sure you get everything in the right place. Specular and in the roughness, and save. That's weird. Yeah, there we go. So you click play. And we have it set up on some of our materials, but not all of them. I think you can tell because they're slightly more affected by the weather. And we'll let some snow accumulate here. And you can see it accumulating on the materials that we have it set up on. And there you can slowly start creating a snowy landscape, and everything seems to be pretty nice. Just gonna save all. Just looking for my I'm looking for my puddles. There we go. You want to go into your puddle painting. You want your puddles to display, because I think maybe in one of the other painted on materials it might show up a little odd. So Control V. Get your blood. That'll get your weather, specular, roughness, color, specular, roughness. And we'll save this. Pause while those compile. Okay. And now when I play, the puddles will actually start. The puddles themselves will actually get affected by the weather. Wait for some snow to accumulate here. You can also set that up on anything. You can set it up on weapons. You can set it up on characters, materials. And you can see it gets a little glossier. A little more like ice to me. And the sun is going down. Pretty sure I mentioned it, but the sun angle is where you set your length of your day. And your night is right there. One more thing I'm going to do. I believe that this, when you look up and down, might have, yeah. If you go into your character, I think I might have already adjusted this. I'm just going to double check it. You want to go to your follow camera, lens, exposure. And 1 second, I'm just going to see if I disable that in there or if I disabled it in the whole project. Just gonna double check my notes over here. And yeah, I went to some project settings, exposure. You just disable your auto exposure. That makes the lighting not adjust weirdly when you look up and down. Personally, I think that's weird. That's a weird setting. You can adjust it, so you can turn it on and adjust it in your camera by turning on these and setting it up, playing with those. I personally don't like it. The newer engines, they enabled it. That's going to be everything for this episode. If you found this video helpful and want to see more, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any tutorial video uploads. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section below or join my community Discord server using the link in the description. Thanks, and I'll see you all in the next episode.